Hi, it's Linda Armstrong. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about passion versus pushing. So this is a message that came to me in meditation yesterday, and it was appropriate because I was actually in a really lower energy, and I couldn't sort out exactly why. And so I know better, so I know just meditate. So I went to meditate, and I started asking, speaking to my guides, because you can always tap into guides and angels if you don't know this already. If through meditation or even just any time in your walking day, you can ask questions and receive answers. So I was in this energy place, and I wasn't really quite sure what was going on, and I wanted to shift it, of course. And I know that any energy can be shifted, even though sometimes you kind of don't feel like it and you kind of want to be stuck in that lower energy. Imagine that, but it's true. A lot of people do that. I know because I've done it myself, right? I'll admit it. Um, but anyway, I didn't want to be there, and I know that I could flip the energy, and I know the best way for me to do that is just to meditate. So I went into meditation, and I sat down, I started meditating, and I felt the presence of a guide that wanted to come through. And I've been making connection with a guide, ascended master. I'm not really sure, but the name is Jeremiah. And so this connection came, so I just pulled myself out of the way so that this energy can come through and speak. I even recorded it for myself because I didn't, don't always remember these things when they come through. So this whole message was around passion versus pushing. So when you're trying to create something in your life, right? And a lot of us know about law of attraction, but we don't always apply it properly. And we start getting out of the energy of the vibration of what we want to create, which is how you create it, right? By holding the vibrational energy of the desire as if it already exists in present time. But when we're trying to sort out for ourselves the steps it might take to get there, we can get too much in our head and into that mental chatter of what should I do? This is what all these shoulds, right? Shoulds are not good, right? Shoulds have that energy, like it's required or it has to be. It's more of that kind of a struggle energy. So that's not a place you want to be. You'd rather be in this place of passion, right? And so that's what this whole message is about: passion versus pushing. So pushing is that energy of trying to figure it out. There's that word trying, right? Trying is not doing, it's trying. It's a forced energy. So you want to try and come from that energy of the desire already existing. Now, when you can hold that energy, well, then you can hear your guides sending you messages as to, what to do, how to get there. So from that place, when you're in that space of holding this energy, like for me specifically, I know because I've seen many visions of this healing center that I am to have, and I know that it's, at least for now, what I'm told, it's to be in Arizona. So I don't know how that's going to happen. No clue. And when I try to start sorting it out, and then I start getting into that more of that pushing mode of how am I going to do this? Okay, if I do this, do this, do this, do this, and then if you start to implement those things and they're not working for you, well, it really shuts you down, right? Because again, that's the energy that's coming from pushing, trying to make something happen. It's like trying to put that square peg into the round hole. It's like so much effort. So the thing to do is to get in that place of pure potential, pure possibilities, right? So I'll tell you a few things that came through. So the biggest part of this message was passion versus pushing, because I'm sure you've experienced when you're really excited about something, like an idea comes in and you're just so excited that it just happens for you, right? There's no effort. It's like the passion leads it. The right thoughts come, the right things line up, like almost synchronistically, that just take you there. And you're like, I don't even know how I got here. Well, I had an idea, and like, here I am, I'm doing it. That's the energy to create from, right? That's where you can, even if you look back in your life to times when this happened, and I'm sure it has, you can see how things just fell into place. There was no pushing, there was no effort. Now, I'm not saying you can't get there with effort, right? But it's the energy behind the effort. So when the effort or the things that you're doing are fueled by this passion, this excitement, this desire. It's like it overcomes you. Like you feel it. It's so, it feeds you, feeds your cells, it feeds your body. Things just happen. You're in that flow. You're in the zone. Like I can relate to my karate experiences. There are times when things just line up. It's almost like a slow motion movie. Although it's like with karate, when you're sparring, it's fast, boom, 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 real fast. But there are times when you feel like it's a slow motion movie and everything just goes exactly right. So I felt that in those circumstances, but I also felt it with other things I'm creating in my life where things just worked because you're just so in that flow. So that would be the flow of passion versus the flow of pushing, where you're working hard, struggling, all this anxiety, all this stuff coming over you, where you sometimes just have to like, so I think I was kind of there yesterday when I started this meditation and then had this energy of Jeremiah come through and speak to me about passion versus pushing. And a part of that message was the part where you kind of get out of the way, right? So I was shown or told to imagine like being on the top of a mountain and you're just looking out at the distance, like, and like it's never ending. It's like infinity, right? You can see, you're up at this high mountain and you're looking out and you can see all the different trees or villages or towns or whatever. There's so much. And you think about, like, you're there and you're holding the magnificence of this energy. You could feel it in your cells when you're there, right? This high vantage point where you can see the possibilities. Even if you don't know what they are, it's just never ending. So that was shown to me as in comparison to maybe being, say, in my backyard, seeing all the trees. They're kind of blocking the view, right? Or other houses, other buildings, other things. Just so much in the way. So it's kind of like it limits you. So you're letting those things that you could see stop you from seeing past them to the infinite possibilities. So, I mean, take that however you want. I'm hoping you feel it energetically, not so much by the words that I'm saying. But a way to feel that space is by meditation, because you can just use your breath, just even 3 slow breaths, maybe on that third one, hold it for like 6 seconds before you let it out. It kind of brings you into that space like deep within you, because the deeper you go within, the further you go without. So you can get in that space. It's in that energy where you're feeling just this buzz or this freedom or this expansiveness. And that, in that space, is when you can really hear the guidance that wants to come through. At least for me it is. And I know, I imagine for everybody. So you can do that even, say you're out in that backyard and you see all those things are kind of in the way. But you can maybe, with eyes open, not even like it's a meditation, but it's with eyes open. Maybe just stare off at a tree or stare off at something and soften your eyes and let that gaze kind of go gently and soft. And you'll start to feel, at least I know when I do this, not only do I feel myself expand, and I'm doing it right now, I kind of lose the hardness of the stuff that's in front of me. It kind of gets very fluid. And it's almost like the ground is breathing, like the trees are breathing, like things start to have a flow and a rhythm. And I'm just looking straight out, but I'm not really focusing on any one thing. So you can do that. That's like meditation too. And you'll find you just get into that zone where it's just quiet and it's peaceful. And you get to be with you. The you that is connected to everything and all things. So that is a very expansive energy. And it's a beautiful place to be. And when you're in that space, possibilities will open for you. Now, you don't have to actually know the energy that is coming in or the answers that are coming to you. But if you set your intention before you do this, whether you're sitting eyes closed or eyes open, set your intention. I ask that the next steps on my path be shown to me in the highest and best way for me, where I can get it and I can implement it. So you kind of just put that out there. And you may get an image, you may hear things, you may just know something, like something comes into your mind, the thought that takes you to your next step, or maybe nothing, just pure peace, just there. Meanwhile, you're receiving the information into the cells of your body, right? And then, like the next day, 2 days later, next week, things just line up. Where out of the blue, something shows up that takes you to that next step easily. Not by pushing, but with this passion behind it, with this feeling like, wow, this is it. This must have come from that time when I was sitting in my backyard staring at the trees, you know? So it's all about, this message I received yesterday is all about tapping into infinite possibilities because we are energy beings. Everything is energy. Everything has a frequency and a vibration. So when you hold the focus of what you want as a feeling in your body, like find this feeling of the dream. Like I can feel this healing center in Arizona. I can feel it. I've actually even seen pictures of it in my mind's eye when meditating. I know what it looks like. I have no idea how I'm going to get there, but I know that it'll unfold. And things do happen along the way where I'm guided to something else to learn that helps me to get there. Or, the right people all of a sudden are put on my path. Or somehow magically some financial aid appears to be able to make this kind of a shift on this bigger plane. So I'm learning how to step out of the way. Just like with channeling, you just step out of the way and you let that energy flow. And so when I do healing work, that's what I do too. I step out and I allow that energy to come in and be sent to whoever I'm working with in the highest and best way for them. I don't need to know the details of it. It just flows. And they get the benefit of it. And so do I, because I learn with every time I do it. So, getting a little bit off track again, but I guess the main message is passion versus pushing. Tapping into the infinite possibilities, because there are always more possibilities. So one of my teachers taught me butterfly fingers, right? 9 possibilities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are together. 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So if you could even just think, okay, so I want this thing to happen. This is what I'm creating in my life. I have this in my life now. And you're thinking, well, how do I get there? Okay. And so you have a couple of ideas that are very logical because, they make sense to you and they come out real fast. And then you hit the wall and you're like, what else? I don't know. And your mind could go towards all the things that would get in the way, right? But instead, you're like, oh, no, okay. So you come up with all these different ideas. Like you get into that child mind where everything's possible. And you start making up these ideas of how it can happen. And even the most outrageous ones, by the time you get to 9, if you even make it to 9, you're laughing. And your energy got so much lighter because you're like, oh my God, yeah, I don't have to know how it happens. There's all these different ways that things could take place. And it's so much easier when I just get out of the way. So I hope that you can look back at your own experience and find times where things just flowed, sort of like you stepped out of the way and you let spirit flow through you and with you on this path, right? Because we are all connected and we're all here for a reason. And so when you're not really sure what that is, get into that quiet place. Ask questions. Ask for your guides to be present and to, send you clues, little bits of information, little signs from the universe. I like to pay attention to not specific, whatever animals or insects kind of come along my way. Something that catches me a little bit out of the ordinary, like it's like an unusual event or an unordinary occurrence. Like those moments, that's like a way to connect right there and then to your guides. It's like they're talking to you. Take notice. It's like, okay, well, that was weird. Oh, okay. And then send out your desire and say, okay, I'm creating blah, blah. Show me the way. Whatever. Spirit, I ask to be shown the next steps on my journey, on my path in this lifetime. You gotta ask. You gotta ask. Spirit's not going to intervene with your free will. You have to ask. So if you don't already know that, you do now. And start asking. Get in that quiet place where you can tune out, even if there's noise in your outside environment, like outside your window, tune it out. Get into that soft gaze, like when you're just kind of staring out into nothing and you kind of lose yourself. Yeah, that's like meditation. You can do that eyes open, eyes closed, using your breath and just getting into that expansive energy feeling. And if you don't know how to do that, then get someone to help you to do that. I help people to do that all the time. I can teach you how to do that. You can teach yourself. You can find more videos out there on how to do it. So that's all. That's the message. Passion versus pushing and opening up to the infinite possibilities that are out there to you. They're there. There's always a possibility. There's always a way. Nothing ever stays the same. Energy is in constant motion, right? Nothing stays the same. So get into that flow. Ask for the guidance to be with you so that you can start allowing things to unfold. It's like really, truly stepping out of the way and allowing yourself to be guided. And so I guess that's all for now. I wish you wonderful journeys through meditation to finding answers for yourself. Play with it. You can write comments for me or questions, and I'd love to get back to you, answer you any questions you have about that. I'm always free to share my experience, and my desire is for you to find this for yourself and to really expand on it and take it over and then teach other people how to do it. I mean, the more people who learn how to do these things, how to be empowered into their own energy to create their lives, to create a life they love living. Now, that's why my website is lovemylife.coach. Love my life. That's what it's all about. That coach, yeah, it's kind of fun, right? I'm a coach, I'm a healer, so why not? So anyway, visit my website. You can find out more about me there. And I will probably shoot another video soon. Until then, have an awesome life.